The purpose of a funnel is to take people that, ideally respond to some form of advertising, or that show some kind of response in terms of, like, maybe you made a post and said, hey, check this out, we got a special deal, and basically walk them through a process that will take them from someone who is interested in your services to someone who has booked an appointment to talk to you. The next thing I wanted to talk about is why social media is a must for medical spas. The days of having a practice without social media are essentially gone. If you don't have social media right now for your business, you are officially behind the curve, and people are you're likely losing business to your competitors. People that are searching for you are not finding you. There's really no excuse not to have social media built out. And so what I would recommend is that if you are somebody who is trying to get their social media up, you're trying to promote your medical spa, your aesthetics practice, consider using some form of software that integrates all that together. The software that we use in our practice is called ClickPractice. It's a software that allows you to build funnels and web pages, but it also, most importantly, connects all of your social media in one place. So what's really great about ClickPractice is I can make a post, right? And I can post that post on Instagram. I can take the same post at the same time, like literally make a click and say, post that post to Instagram, post it to LinkedIn, post it to Google My Business, which is a huge one, guys. Like, if you're not posting to Google My Business, you'll be surprised how much your rankings increase the more you post on there. It's crazy. So like you got to post to Google My Business, and the best posts to use are the ones you're already going to send to Facebook, right? So send it to Facebook, Instagram, whatever. You can select all those channels at once, send the post, and boom, the post goes to all of them at once. And so all your social media channels are essentially getting the same post. So you're updating all your social media channels at once. And it's just a game changer, because in the past, where you would have to take one post, then you have to move it over to LinkedIn, you have to move it over to Google My Business. It would take, all this time to do that. Now you can literally, with a click of a button, send one post to all of them instantaneously. You can program that post for future dates, etc. It is literally a game changer. The other thing that's really cool about it is that it also takes all the incoming communication from Facebook, Instagram, etc., Google My Business, and basically takes all that communication and puts it into one inbox, so that your staff can see, like, if Judy Smith sent a email, yesterday, and then sent an Instagram DM today, they're all in the same place. So they can see, like, very clearly, like, hey, this is what this lady's trying to do. Here's what she's saying. And you're not trying to, like, jump from channel to channel or have multiple employees trying to work on one person's stuff. They don't realize it, and the right hand's not talking to the left hand. It makes things so much easier and more streamlined. So if you haven't had a chance to take a look at ClickPractice, it's a great software. The other thing I wanted to mention, it was a great question that was asked, and was, what about a website versus a funnel? And how does that matter to aesthetic businesses like mine? So this was a great question, and so I wanted to really delve into it. A lot of people are told that they need to have a website. And the reality is, you need to have some form of online presence. A website is great. But the problem with websites is that they're really not that good at selling stuff. And so if you look at the traditional med spa website, what you find is a website with usually a menu at the top, and there's all these different options. Many times those options are not listed in language that is friendly to a potential patient. Many times the options that are listed are technical words such as product names, technical treatment names such as, RF microneedling. It doesn't explain to the patient, like, what it does. It's very, very technical. So if you're not somebody who's familiar with that procedure, you really don't know what it means. Words that are basically brand names such as Kybella, those kind of things. And that's really the wrong way to do it. Like, if you have a website, I would say base it on what the patient is interested in and the results you deliver to the patient, not so much the technical, technobabble or the tech speak of all of the aesthetics industry. Like, you can talk about the treatments, but talk about them in the same way that you would explain them to a patient who is not part of the industry. And so we see this all the time with many med spa websites, where all this technical stuff is very confusing. When people arrive to it, there's 30 plus options on the website. They don't really know, what's going on. They don't know what we know. The reason why they're there is to answer a specific question in their mind, such as, like, I have crow's feet, what do I do about them? And they go to a website and there's 30 different treatments. It's not very clear as to what treatment they need, how much it's going to cost, etc. So one of the things that is probably the most useful is to basically take that website, convert it into something that people can actually understand, that are lay people, They don't have to be an industry insider. They don't have to know, what Restylane is. They don't have to know what Kybella is. They don't have to know what all these procedures are. Try to talk about the results you generate and show some before and after pictures, because that's what really gets people to buy. Now, that being said, websites still significantly underperform what are called funnels. And a funnel essentially is a one-page website. Could be more, could be 1 to 3 page website, but it's usually just one page where all it does is focus on one thing. So the purpose of a funnel is to take people that, ideally respond to some form of advertising, or that show some kind of response in terms of, like, maybe you made a post and say, hey, check this out, we got a special deal, and basically walk them through a process that will take them from someone who is interested in your services to someone who has booked an appointment to talk to you. So funnels are better at selling. They're individual and they're only related to the actual product that they're talking about. So versus if you go to a traditional med spa website, they're going to talk about all the services they offer. If you go to a funnel, they're going to talk about one service, how to get it, why you should get it. Is there some kind of offer? Is there a special deal going on? Is there some, gift card thing? Is there a voucher? Like, what is the offer? And the whole goal is to get the prospect or the person looking at it to basically take action to either book an appointment, to send in their information, to, whatever it is, right? To come into the office, to schedule a consultation, to schedule a virtual consultation, whatever it is, to get them to take some form of action that will move them further in the sales process, right? Ideally, you should never sell from your website. Your website essentially is there as a form of kind of like credibility for people. So if people are searching for you, they want to see where your address is. They want to see, a little bit about you. They're kind of doing their background checks on you. That's what the website's for. The funnels are designed only to sell things to people, and they're very specific. So to give you another example of this, there was once a dentist that I knew who was advertising Invisalign, right? So Invisalign is a product that you put on your teeth, helps, straighten the teeth. And Invisalign was very popular, and a lot of dentists started doing that even to this day. And what happened is this dentist went out and did a whole bunch of advertising on TV and the radio and sent them back to his website. And what happened is a prospect was listening to the Invisalign. The dentist would go on and talk about how great Invisalign is, like how it's so easy to use, blah, blah, how you don't have to have braces, all this kind of thing, right? And then basically what ended up happening is that the person would then go to the website and like, oh, this is just a general dentist. Why do I need him? I can just find another dentist. So it didn't continue with the messaging. And then what happened is that one of the ways that this guy actually ended up being very successful was that we actually built a funnel for him that was only about Invisalign. And then basically when he went to that funnel, the funnel was only about Invisalign. Didn't talk about any of the other stuff. Didn't talk about any of the other dentistry or anything like that. Didn't talk about his degrees. Talked about Invisalign, why it's great. Here's the offer. Here's what you do next. Here's what it's going to do for you. Here's what it's going to do next. And basically, like, really get the customer to go from like, hey, I'm interested, to like, hey, here's my information. Please call me, or let me book an appointment with you. And that was all it did. And so once you put that into place, his sales skyrocketed because people were getting confused on the website. They weren't sure what to do. They go to a website, there's all these different things. Was he saying Invisalign is right for him? There's stuff about their teeth cleaning. There's stuff about this procedure, that procedure, root canals. And it was just too much. And so the famous saying is that a confused mind doesn't buy. And so if you ever have somebody who's confused as a prospect, chances are they're not going to buy anything from you.